Welcome back to the shop. Today, we've got something that I've been waiting for 5 years, probably, to find. I'm always looking for the deal, and I'm frugal enough that I won't spend money. If you're patient and you're willing to scrounge and look and wait, when the right thing falls in your lap, if you're ready to pounce on it, you can find amazing deals on stuff. Today, I've got a package we're going to be opening. It came from Brewers Performance, believe it or not, and it was a steal as far as I'm concerned. Let's get the box. Let's open it up. Stick around. I'm Mike. You're watching My Car Shop. When you're willing to let go of that lust and demand that everything be perfect, and you're willing to put in the sweat equity, it's amazing what you can find. As my buddy Chris always says, it's amazing what you can find that's just laying at your feet. If you're just willing to bend your stiff neck and swallow your pride and bend over and pick it up. This wasn't quite that simple, but by the same token, I really didn't expect to get this from Brewers. I had actually been in conversation with Dan a while ago about one of these. I was going to work out a trade deal, and I was going to work out a trade deal, and he was willing to do it. And in the meantime, this popped up like a couple weeks later before I got around to what I was working on, and here it is. So what we have here is a big block bell housing. It's not perfect. It's got some damage, but the damage is not nearly what I expected, and it has the ball socket on it. That is cool. I've got a bunch of those, but I don't want to put this on the truck, so I got to find something to set this on. I'm going to get a fender cover. Let's do that. I just happen to have one. Thanks, Mark. Right here. I want to look this over a little bit better. So when I talked to Dan, he said that there was a crack because somebody. Oh yeah, is that it? No. Well, I tell you what, he said there was a crack, and I'm not seeing it. You got to look a little closer. He said that somebody had put a helicoil in, so that's my clue. There's a helicoil. It must be right there, and had cracked the thing because they had put the bolts in. The bolts they put in were too long, and caused it to crack. So he may have magnafluxed this for all I know. Yeah, there's the helicoil there and there, so it's got to be on one of these two. But I'll be honest with you, I'm having a heck of a time seeing where it's cracked. So I'm going to dig at this, and then I'll bring you over and show you when I finally find it. Oh, there's a helicoil. All four of those are helicoiled. Okay, so it's on one of those. I'd seen it in the pictures, but when you're looking at the part in person, it's not easy to see. It's cracked right here. And so what somebody did, it's a blind hole there, and that makes sense why it's not up here. These are a blind hole, and they put too long of a bolt in there, and they cracked this off. So a couple things we got to check here. It's an easy fix to just go along here with the TIG welder and fill that in. It won't be a big deal, which we'll do. It's got a few other little imperfections, but nothing major. I thought there might be some other cracks in it, but those are just parting lines and so forth. Those aren't cracks as far as I can tell. No, I don't think so. I think those are just like parting lines and stuff. So yeah, the only crack I see is right here. And I got to check I want to check the straightness on this edge here to see if this is warped out any. If it's not warped out any, it's going to be an easy peasy fix. We'll just weld it. We may have to dress this in the mill, but no big deal. So let me get a flat edge and we'll see what we got. I've got a surface table here. This thing was within a couple of microns of clearance of flatness. So I know that's good. We'll just put this down on there. Settle it down in there a little bit. Check its flatness. There's a couple thousandths there, but it ain't much. Nothing I think we're going to need to worry about because it's aluminum. And get that up a little bit where the crack is. A little rock there. Okay, it's flat. Yep, even where the crack is. No, I think it's up just a little bit on that edge. So we'll need to dress this down. Yeah, let's flip it over here. I have to put it on the bench over there. Let's check this. But I got a feeling because of the way that cracked, here, it pulled this up a little bit. Something to look down at, see what we can see. Yep, it is. Let's put it over on the table with a ruler. Okay, so the break is right here. This from here basically to here. So when that bolt went in, it pulled this up, and I can definitely see when I use this straight edge. This is actually a cutting edge, but it's perfectly straight, and I can see maybe I could check it with a feeler gauge, but I'm not that worried about it right now. But that bolt hole is definitely pulled up in this area right here, probably 20 thousandths, maybe less. No, it's not even that much. It's probably 10 thousandths. So we're going to have to dress that a little bit, but maybe the way we'll do it, rather than trying to mill it, is we'll do it. I mean, 10 thousandths isn't a lot, but I would rather it was flat. And I know that when you tighten these things down, this is aluminum, so it flexes a lot. But I still think that it would be best to. We could even take just a file and do it the old school way and just flatten it out a little bit until this straight edge. This is a really, really straight edge. I've got a better one around, but that's the quickest one I found. So that's going to be pretty easy to take care of. And we'll go through and clean this all up real nice, and we'll TIG weld that together so it's no chance of that popping out. I mean, it's for the Stitches Challenger. We're not going to be drag racing this thing or anything. This is just a driver car. It's not going to be a built 440. It's just a 444 speed. Would this be fine the way it is? Probably. But I still think it's better safe than sorry. So another way we could do it, I suppose, is we could cut this out in here, clearance it, machine it, and put a nut on the back so it squeezes it all back together. But that's kind of a Captain Caveman way of doing it. But I'm always looking at those options. Yeah, we would lose the dust shield spot here, but I quite frankly don't give a crap if it has a dust shield on it or not. I mean, we'll put one on it probably, but is it the end of the world if it doesn't? No, it's not. So all things that I'm going to ponder, but I'm really thrilled to have gotten this. So let's talk the money part of it. Those units I've been watching to find a deal. Those units sell generally for 500 to 600. I've seen them as low as 450, not much lower than that for anything decent. And I wasn't willing to spend it unless we were to the point where that was holding us up from putting the car together. Dan had that for sale for $250. I saw it within 5 minutes of him putting it on Facebook. And I was driving. I messaged him right away and said, "Hey, I'm driving right now. I'll call you in just a couple of minutes." So it was about probably 7 minutes till I got to somewhere I could pull off the side of the road. And he hadn't even seen, well, he did see my message. And I think I got a thumbs up from him. And yeah, he saw that message. So I pulled over and I called him, and he answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, I was just the one, talking to you about the bell housing." And he went through the cracks and what it was. And I said, "I'll take it." And so it was only on Facebook for 15 minutes, and it was marked sold that fast. And if you've seen it on there, it's because I'm the one that bought it. I'm glad, because I didn't want to use my Lakewood bell housing. I have one, but I want to use that in the Golden Mullet. This will fit the car better. I think overall it's just a phenomenally cool. It fits right in the genre of Stitches, where everything is something that was bought or fell in our laps, and we had to do something to it to make it work. So it's a winner chicken dinner. So that is cool. Really pleased with that. So I'm going to do an episode here practicing welding aluminium before I get on this, because one thing about aluminum, when you're welding, it can be there and then not real fast. Am I going to try to make this a picture perfect weld? No, of course not. But we got to groove that a little bit, clean it up. We'll run some TIG in there and grind it down, make it look decent, and call it good. Main thing is to get it stuck back together again so that it doesn't flex or spread. So yeah, we'll have a couple episodes coming in relation to that. I'm not ready to bring the motor up and stuff like that yet. I need to drill the crank on the 440. Chris and I are making a plan for that. We thought about pulling it out, putting it in the Cincinnati lathe, and drilling the pilot hole. But we're going to do the same thing we did on the Charger, do it a little differently. Joe, when he drilled the Charger, he did it with a hand drill and a special jig to keep the drill straight. I think we're going to do the mag drill, the same thing we used when we did the chassis here on the 39. And we'll put a plate on the back of the motor and tip the motor up and then punch it down in with that. I think it's a 7/8 bit. So, well, I was not expecting that. My buddy Jerry that lives locally here, he and I barter parts back and forth all the time. And I knew he had this. He mentioned he might be stopping by today. So he brought some stuff back that he didn't need that I had given him a while ago. And he brought this box. And I'm like, you kidding me? I said, is that for a 4-speed car? He said, it is. Never been opened. He sold his Challenger a few years ago. He's got another couple key bits for this car as well. We'll talk about that later. But let me get this box opened up because I don't know how long this has been in the box. It's from year one. Looks like it's either must be from 1999 or 2011. I can't tell by the date. It's an old box. This is exciting. This is so exciting. I'm sure you can guess what it is. He said he never took it out of the box. I may never get it out of the box either. But what we have here is a brand new set of Challenger floor carpets. Holy crap. Look at that. Holy crap. That is awesome, as Bill Engvall would say. So I got to figure this out exactly how it goes. Well, that would be the rear tray there, I think. And that's the front. So let's get it in the car because that would be awesome. That is awesome with our interior panels. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to have a little issue here because of my spring connectors, and I knew that. But I think there's enough carpeting there. It's not going to really make much difference. I've got the sill plates. So one more big step here on the Stitches Challenger for sure. Wow, all of a sudden, this thing is starting to come together in big ways. Look at this. That is so exciting. Wow. Craziness. I was just talking with my buddy John, showing him the carpet that I got from Jerry, and said I wasn't expecting that. You know, he said, you're going to be driving that by Memorial Day. I know, because I need to stay focused on my girl's truck, but I mean, the reality is, we're not that far out. We're really not that far out. It's crazy, crazy, crazy how this is coming together. Oh, yeah, there's still a ton to do. Don't get me wrong. There's still lots of fabricating to do. Windshield, cowl, back glass. Some of the back area we've got fabricated. We just haven't installed it yet. But it's exciting for this stuff to come together. And once Thunderstruck is off the chassis table here in about 3 weeks, we'll have a lot more flexibility in the shop on what we're doing here. So pouring rain today. I was going to put this out, but I'm glad I didn't. And it all worked out because I didn't know he was going to bring carpet today. So we had talked about it. And again, it's one of those deals. I'm just bartering. He needed some stuff that I had, and so rather than swapping money, we're just bartering parts back and forth. And that's the way you keep it cheap. When you're all like minded and you have good friends, um, that's the way it works. So awesome. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I've got to get busy and get after some stuff, but I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. We have channel memberships for as little as $5 a month. You can check that out. And one more thing, because it's important. Don't forget, rock!